All right, so why do you think that a lot of guys have this notion or this idea that women don't like sex as much as us, or they might have like a lower sex drive, or, you know, that if a woman likes to have a lot of sex, that there's, you know, something wrong with her.
Her.
Like, why do you think guys think that?
It's so funny because I think you and I would agree that women actually do like sex just as much as men in general. Mm-hmm. And this is like a prevailing idea from a lot of men. And then you have to wonder, when people have these kinds of assumptions, are they based in is there some reality to it?
That women have, like, you know, that they don't like it as much as us? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, I'm just wondering, like, is it possible that on average there's like a slight percentage less that women like sex, maybe a little bit less? I don't know, but
no,
it doesn't I feel like from my experience that's not true.
Right.
But it's just my experience. I don't have like data to back it up.
Well, the thing is, you know, I think from you know, it depends on the guy's perspective. Because let's say, for example, if you're the type of guy who is attractive and gets a lot of sex, your perspective is women love sex because women keep throwing it at me. They keep trying to fuck me all the time.
Oh, damn. So you're saying that men who say women don't like sex are the ones that women are just like, I just don't like sex with you.
No, I'm just saying, from another guy's perspective, he may say,
kind of harsh.
Well, women don't like sex as much as us because, you know, he's like, I'm trying to get sex and they feel like, they say I got to wait and all this other stuff. So that could be one perspective.
Right, so that's one theory,
right,
for sure. And maybe that plays into some of this conversation. But then I'm also thinking about some other, like, ideas that maybe could be part of this too. Like, for example, I think in general, women are not the ones that approach men in a sexual context, that we have a tendency to be more, I want to say, like, kind of more passive in the dating scene, right? So it's men that pursue. And I think that for a lot of women, even if we're like, oh, damn, I would really like to have sex with this guy, we aren't going to be as active about acting on that.
Right, well, this is the thing. I think also, too, what happens is that, you know, because what you're explaining, I think, is more of like a societal thing, more so than like a woman actually like not wanting
like,
to have sex.
If we talk about, like, biologically, are women less inclined to want to have sex than men? Mm-hmm. I think you and I feel pretty strongly, both of us, right, that that's pretty even, right across the board. Well,
this is the thing. A lot of guys, though, they'll say, you know, and it's just like, you know, it's like a societal thing where people have this assumption that, you know, if a woman likes sex and all that, she's, you know, she must be a slut or she's crazy, whatever. But
there's something wrong with her.
There's something wrong with her. But also, too, they'll say stuff like, and I've heard this before, where they'll say stuff like, well, you know, if a woman is, or let's say this, a guy has a lot of sperm, so he has to spread his seed, right? Then, which is why he's out here fucking and going crazy, right?
Right. Well,
but then they'll say, right. But then they'll say a woman, she has limited number of eggs, and, you know, and my question to you is,
that's an interesting point.
My question to you is, are you only horny when you're fertile? When you're fertile. When you're
ovulating.
I'm asking.
Me? No. Definitely not. Because, you know, we're women. I mean, I feel like we're human. We like sex. Like, you can be on your period and still be like, I still really want to have sex and I can't get pregnant.
That's what I'm saying. But this is the thing. I think that guys, they have this idea that because a woman can only carry, you know, one dude's you know, baby.
Oh, and that's another
that she doesn't you know, she's not going to be like as sexual, right? Because they're connecting
out of commission for 9 months at a time.
Right, they're connecting her
and several times during the month.
Right,
also
they're connecting her sexual desire to her being pregnant. Even when you're pregnant, you can still actually have sex.
Not only can you have sex, but I've also heard from reliable sources that when you're pregnant, you actually, a lot of women are have told me that they're more horny.
Right. So you would think if they're already pregnant,
then
there would be no horniness for 9 months.
Yeah, and
right?
it's not true.
So
I have heard though that after a vaginal birth, sometimes women have a stage of healing and are not as inclined to have like vaginal intercourse. Okay, but that's a tangent.
Right, I'm just bringing up that point to say, I think there's this thing where people feel like, well, because a woman can get pregnant, that's evidence to suggest that she naturally isn't supposed to be as sexual as a man. You see what I'm saying?
I mean, I feel like it's more, I don't know, that's an interesting idea. I think it's more that men and women tend to have different, we tend to have different approaches to sex and partnership, and so I feel like that might play in, right? Because it's true, men do have a tendency, and I'm generalizing, but I think men do have a tendency to
what?
How do I say this? No, what I want to say is women can tend to be more picky about who they choose as a sexual partner. Right? And there's theories on why that's true. Right? Maybe it's because if pregnancy and childbirth is the underlying subconscious reason for people to have sex, then as a woman you want to choose very carefully, because if you are going to get pregnant from this interaction, let's not let it be somebody who can't provide and protect and support. Right? But then for men, spreading your seed is actually biologically a good idea. Right. Because let's say you happen to have sex with someone who's not fertile, or, whatever it is, there's...
Right, and that's the thing. See, my thing is, I understand the whole biological aspect of the sex. We gotta have sex to create other humans, whatever.
Was I saying that women have to be more thoughtful about who they have intercourse with? Right? So, not that we don't like doing sex as much. It's just that we have to be more careful in general about how we choose partners.
Right, but see, and that's the thing.
And
that still doesn't have anything to do with the desire.
Again, yeah.
To do it. That's the part that I feel like guys don't understand.
And sometimes, I'm sorry.
No, go ahead.
Oh, okay. I was gonna say, and sometimes, as a woman, you're so horny, it can mess with your judgment, right? And you can be like, I know this guy really isn't good for me. I know he wouldn't, take care of me or whatever it is, but I'm so horny, I'm just going to do it.
Right, but see, then they'll say if there's something wrong with that girl because she's obviously not supposed to want sex. You know what I'm saying? Because she's a chick.
Silly. But it happens all the time. Like, it happens all the time.
No, I know. And this is what...
It's like a constant struggle,
and
right?
This is the thing. And this is the thing. Women have, like what they say, 8,000 nerve endings on their clitoris and all this shit. And you're trying to tell me she's not going to want to be doing it? And on top of that, the term nymphomaniac is...
not a real thing. Is that a real thing?
No, that is a real thing. They named that for women. That's not for guys.
Yeah, but is that like a real diagnosis? I don't know.
No. But what I'm saying,
but
what I'm saying is that if women naturally weren't,
super into it,
right, then there wouldn't even need to be that term. Why? What would be the point of having that?
Right, and so if it was initially,
but again,
a diagnosis for women, yeah.
But again, they're going to say that because it's like this. The narrative is she's crazy and there's something wrong with her.
Right, medically.
If she likes sex. You see what I'm saying?
Aww.
And I'm just like, it's sad that guys still think this because guys will say, well, when you have sex, it's the oxytocin and you bond and this and this and that. And there's plenty of times where women can see a guy, have sex with him, and keep that shit pushing.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's true.
In fact, I see a lot of times where there's guys who, get a little bit
who are more like want to
more clingy with the situation. Where I've seen a lot more girls.
I think when it comes down to it, we're all human in a very similar way,
right?
And we enjoy connecting sexually in the same ways, in some ways, right?
Right. That's what I'm saying. But that's what I'm saying. I'm saying that I don't believe that. I don't believe that there is this thing where women don't like sex as much as dudes, like, or that there's this natural thing where women don't want it, and if they do want it, that there's something wrong with them, or there's some type of like deficiency there. You understand what I'm saying?
Right. And I mean, I guess in the end, you can understand there might be some reasons behind why people think that, but it's too bad because it in the end just like continues to push women to act like they don't. And I think that's part of it. There are societal pressures that say if you are like if you enjoy sex and you don't like pretend that you don't, that there's something wrong with you, so we're gonna pretend we don't. Right because I'm like, no, there's nothing wrong with me, I'm a good person, I'm healthy, I think, right.
No, but see, and also too, the thing is that for women, right, there are times where women, because women are so susceptible to the whim of a man, you understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That can get her in certain situations where she just sort of, like, she may get attached or something like that, or she may be influenced by a certain guy, you know what I'm saying, in a certain way. But I think that has overall to do with the overall underlying energy from that guy, not specifically just sex.
Wait, what do you? I'm not understanding the connection.
What I'm saying is that they will say, well, if a woman has a bunch of sex with a bunch of guys, that means that she's gonna be fucked up in the head because every time she has sex with a guy, that guy is somehow attaching himself to her. He's attaching his DNA to her, which which will make her.
If she got pregnant, then he is.
Well, yeah. Well, but even so, where they say the oxytocin occurs, and then that makes her bond with him, and then if she's doing so many guys, then it's too much fucking shit going on.
Oh, so that she is unable to bond effectively with a partner because she's not because she's willing to have sex with so many different people. Right.
And so my thing is, and this is what I'm saying.
And again, so this would be one of those arguments that say women
shouldn't have a lot of sex because you don't want this to happen to you.
Right. And so then if that's happening to you, then there's this negative effect. Right. That you are not able to bond effectively with partners.
Right. Okay. But see, this is the thing. What I say with that, I say that only makes sense in the context of if she's actually like interacting with a guy long term and he has a strong impact on her overall with his energy. So, for example, if you go,
she's then not able to bond. Well, if it's a negative,
no, not necessarily she's not able to bond. But what I'm saying is that the influence the man has, what I'm saying is his influence is going to be strong based off of how much time she's spending with that particular guy and the energy that he's bringing to her life. So for example, if a woman has sex with a random dude on a one-night stand, that's not going to necessarily mean anything.
It's not going to impact her.
Right. It's not going to. She's not going to be like, oh my god, like, you understand? She could have sex.
You never know.
No, but that's what I'm saying. She could have sex with 3 or 4 guys randomly in the next 2 months. I don't think any of those guys are necessarily going to impact her. Versus if she's dealing with a guy for like maybe 6 or 7 months and they've had some sort of deep connection overall. And so what I mean by that is, an example I would say is, it's like if I went to London for 2 days, I'm not going to come back with a fucking London accent. You feel what I'm saying?
Right.
If I stayed in London for maybe a year, you understand what I'm saying? So it's like these dudes think that just because I stick my dick in some chick for 7 minutes, that she's now corrupted or like
she's
influenced
some strange, unhealthy
by my shit, which is bullshit. You know what I'm saying? Like, and also too, you know, unless you like, you know, unless you coming inside of a woman, she's not gonna have your DNA to that extent. Yeah, she'll probably have like, you know, you could still fucking, you know, some juices or whatever might flow here and there.
Yeah.
But what happened?
Yeah, you know what? This just like reminds me how nobody accuses you of being unhealthy psychologically when you have a lot of friends.
Right.
Right? Like, I have a lot of friends, maybe. Or what if you have a lot of siblings, right? You love all your siblings. And you like have, you know, you have dinner with this sibling, you have lunch the next day with this sibling, you go for a weekend trip with that other sibling, right? Nobody accuses you of having some unhealthy psychological
not because they think
imbalance.
Because people think sex is special and different, and you know there's this thing and
sex is special and
there's
different.
This magical thing that's
it's
gonna
definitely different
from what?
From it's just a different way of connecting socially, I guess.
No, I'm not saying that it's not different. I'm not. What I'm saying is that I think the problem is that people add too much onto it that doesn't need to be added on,
right.
But they'll want to make rationalizations based off of false logical like fucking connections. So for example, I was watching this guy's video where he said that the reason why women shouldn't be promiscuous and have a lot of sex is because I think he called it like parental parental ambiguity or some shit like that, where it was like he was basically saying that because if I have sex with this girl and she has sex with 3 other guys and she gets pregnant, I'm not gonna know if I'm the dad. So that's
the reason?
So he was saying that's like...
So that's the reason? That's why she should avoid...
Right, so he's basically...
Okay, well, I mean, yeah, I guess that would be a little confusing.
No, but this is what I'm saying.
But in the end...
No, this is what I'm saying.
You usually figure it out. Okay, yeah.
If you're having sex with a woman, right? I'll put it like this. I know the women who I have sex with, who if she was to get... If like, what I'm saying is, I know whether or not a woman that I'm dealing with would be having my kid. And what I mean is that...
Right, and she would know too.
Right, or what I mean is this. If 99% of the women I'm having sex with, I'm having with a condom, and I'm pulling out, I'm not even ejaculating inside them.
Right.
If she gets pregnant, what will make me think she's going to have my kid? You see what I'm saying? Now, if you are having sex unprotected, I could understand. You may be like, well, yeah, she might have my kid because I had ejaculated in her. But if you ejaculated in her, you would have already assumed that that's going to be your kid anyway. You see what I'm saying?
Yes, but this guy's argument is that she's messing with 2 other guys.
No, yeah. So
that's his argument,
right? Yeah. So he's saying that because she's messing with 2 other guys, that means that, you know, it's like you're not going to know if the baby's yours or not. You feel what I'm saying? Which is why
I just feel like it's such a funny argument.
But that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. You see what I mean? Like, it's like you might as well say, you know what?
It just seems too random.
Right. Exactly. You know, it's like somebody saying, you know what? You shouldn't like, you know, eat fucking chocolate because, you know, if you eat that, you're not going to know whether or not it was the chocolate or the cupcakes that gave you the high sugar. Like what? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, what kind of shit is that? So because I'm a dumbass and don't know how to, you know, how to use a condom or how to pull out or whatever it is, I'm going to be confused about me fucking a chick and wondering if I got her pregnant. You feel what I'm saying? Like, it's just this is what I'm saying. Like, it's just the stupidity about, like, because this is the thing. If you're gonna make the argument that women shouldn't be fucking and women don't have the same sex and they shouldn't be doing this or whatever, there has to be a more sound. Like, because it sounds like you're just pulling from straws and you're reaching too much. You see what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. And my thing is this: is that if okay, it's like this. If women weren't, if it was natural for women to not want to have this much sex, or they have a low sex drive, would we be even having this conversation?
If it was natural?
Yes. if it was natural for where women are, you know, don't like sex as much as men, right? And you know, and like, it's just like, you know, us, we're the ones spreading our seed and doing all this, and women just sitting there being these little quiet virgins waiting for us to come through. Like, like, would we be having this conversation?
Yes, the reason this is coming up is because I mean, I'm guessing because of some of the reasons we've talked about, right?
Mm-hmm.
Where some guys are saying, well, it seems like women don't like sex as much, right?
Mm-hmm.
And maybe it's societal influences, or maybe she's not into you, or maybe, you know, whatever else we were talking about. But
like this is what I'm saying. All that would need to happen is for women. and here I go with the surveys. I don't even like talking about statistics. But let's say, for example, they had anonymous surveys of women really talking about how many dudes they fucked.
How many, or how frequent
or whatever,
they
right?
prefer to have sex.
Like,
see, in the end, I feel like I would be. I'm curious to see the comments on this video because you know, I'm hopeful that some interesting ideas will come up, because honestly, I feel like I don't really have the answer. In the end, I feel like women like sex.
Right, but that's what I'm saying. See, my stance on it is this.
That's what I think.
My stance on it is this: is that, you know, it's if you just look and observe, right? It would be extremely obvious to most people. I'm just saying. Like, it's just weird to me that in this day and age, guys, because, you know, truthfully, I think a lot of times for some guys, it makes them feel better about their situation.
To say, oh, there's something wrong with
right?
her.
Because if these chicks is, you know, slinging vagina all day, how come I'm not getting none?
Click the link below to get the ebook 60-Second Game. In this book, you learn how your confidence, verbal communication skills, appearance, response to rejection, and honesty can affect your game. Click the link below to get your copy today.
Now, before you turn off this video, I want you to do 3 quick things. 1, I want you to click the link below to send me a question. If you have a question on dating and relationships, I'll make a video about it. 2, I want you to click the link under that to get my free audio program, Undeniable Game, which teaches you 7 easy to follow tips on how to really attract beautiful women. And 3, I want you to click the link under that one to go to Bad Boy Membership, where you get 45 through 90-minute audio and video dating advice tutorials every month.
What's up? It's dating and life coach Mr. Locario. Go to badboymembership.com and master the dating game by joining my Bad Boy Membership program. In this program, you'll receive 45 through 90-minute, easy to follow, step-by-step dating advice tutorials that's guaranteed to help you attract, date, and have sex with beautiful women. Join the Bad Boy Membership today by going to badboymembership.com. That's badboymembership.com.